Monday morning rain is calling. Guys, it's the beginning of the week. Don't let humanity get the best of you. I think that we're all fools and we could be seeking wisdom. We could be seeking betterment. We could be seeking that kind of enlightenment, not a light switch enlightenment. How about that? Enlightenment, quote unquote, or wisdom, none of it is a light switch. I think that's where people fall short in regards to their growth. And even I fall short oftentimes where there's some kind of subconscious, if not conscious, belief that once you level up, once you see something more clearly, then it should just be there whether you are trying to maintain it or not. You know what it is? It's so analogous to our physicality, where like if you build muscle, you just take for granted that that muscle is very much so conditional. That muscle will atrophy. It will go away if you're not nourishing it and not exercising it. And we're not nourishing and exercising our mental abilities, and we're not nourishing and exercising a lot of those traits which make us better, which is why that missing ingredient of a church like, if not church itself, but a church like community where we're talking about these kinds of things. I have church all the time with the people close to me. It literally feels like church, and I grew up in the church, so I know what it feels like to feel like enlightened, to feel edified, to feel in that moment a catharsis. And what's missing is that we don't have that in our everyday. And so you get caught up in normal people's mentality and normal people's viewpoint. Guys, do you see yet? Have you stigmatized normal yet? I'm not anti-normal because there is the contrarian who is just against things just for the sake of it. I'm not against normalcy because there's something intrinsically wrong with normalcy. I'm against what's normal in America because what's normal in America tends to be surface level, materialistic, shallow, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious nonsense, and we all enable each other's nonsense. I was talking to a brother, and he was talking about how he has such a big heart, and it's just because of my heart. In like this, he got taken advantage of by this woman, and I was like, man. Is again, so the reason why I mentioned that just now in that tangent, because I just thought of it, that's normal. That's some normal people thinking. To be like, my heart is so big. You know what my brother's doing right there? This brother, when he's saying this is my heart, that's why I got taken advantage of. He is characterizing having a heart as believing anything somebody says and ignoring the red flags just because you want to believe it. It's wishful thinking. There's a wishful thinking and a wishful perception towards what's normal because you just want to believe everybody knows what they're talking. People are talking about what's popular and dramatic nonsense. That must be all right. That must be cool. That must be something I need to be tapped into, that I need to subscribe to, that I need to be connected to because I have to connect with everybody because this is where it's at, right? This is such a life-giving, rich experience to talk about nonsensical, dramatic nonsense, trivial ass shit, and then to not really, I'm not evolving or growing, but no one else is really evolving or growing. I digress. I want to go further into Looney Tunes, but cause I'm feeling kind of crazy. But let me just say this: what's normal is gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, because it's even. I mean, again, man, it parallels and it correlates to Scripture. The Scripture teaches us that, and that's so funny. Again, I am not religious, but Scripture teaches, at least for Christianity, and I think the essence of it in most religions, the vast majority of religions, intrinsically by our default, something is wrong with us. And some people don't want to look at it like that, right? Because they take that something's wrong with me to a point where I think they shackle every aspect of themselves. Just to clarify, when I say that something's wrong with us, I'm talking about something is wrong with us at any given moment. What I mean is like erase everything of your past. Let's say clean slate, you did nothing, I did nothing. I'm saying something is wrong with us in the sense that at any given moment today, me and you have a conversation. I might be ugly with you, you might be ugly with me. I might come at you irrationally, you might come at me irrationally. You might be reactive to the people close to you. I might be, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. I mean, at any given moment, we are all susceptible to behavior that's toxic and unhealthy, and that lends itself to a consequential negative momentum from one day to the next for all of us. So all I'm saying is, I think we all need to come together and say, fuck normal. I think we all need to admit that what this isn't working. What we're talking about isn't helping us. What we're focused on isn't helping us. We need better discussions. We need better attention. We need better attention spans, but not so much even attention spans. Our attention needs to be placed upon that which is more nourishing. Everybody needs to stop being such a fucking follower. Y'all all, so many people follow so much because it's just you're a follower's follower. It's popularity for popularity's sake, and that's what you're attracted to because the masses are attracted to it. I feel like if how about this? If you ever look at life in any kind of way where you feel a sense of emptiness, where you feel like this is just all I'm saying is that's totally justified, and there's all kinds of practices that you can engage in that'll make you feel richer, and that will make your relationships much less toxic. If you just, for instance, focus on purely being, I just want to be a more reasonable person. That's something that I have been aspiring towards all my life, all my most recent life, and I'm still not good at it to the extent that I'd like to be. But to practice and exercise reasonability to free us of these fiery, emotional, irrational shackles, and to have a better kind of understanding of our humanity. So when we interact, then there's more of a comprehension of what's actually going on. It's not a scoreboard. I need to beat you, you need to beat me thing. It's not about egos. The ego will be there, that sense of insecurity, our self-esteem being hinged upon I'm like me being right and you being wrong and vice versa. No, what this is about is comprehension, understanding the fact that we're all going to die. So therefore, how should we comport ourselves? Therefore, how should we interact? Therefore, how should we behave? And what's normal tends to be in that opposite direction. Ignore all that which is deep. Focus on just the superficial materialistic nonsense. Focus on just what's popular, and then keep complaining about how you don't like this, how you don't like that, and then not even having a real understanding of how you're a part of the problem. For everything, all my complaints, I'm a part of the problem. I'm part of the problem, and I constantly need to engage in that war against the worst parts of myself, so I'm not a part of the problem. But I feel like that's one big step. If you can't admit that you're a part of the problem while simultaneously, that's the trick. It's not just I'm a stupid fool and then I sit down and not ever do anything again. No, I'm a stupid fool, so let me put all of my energy into be a wise, strong person. And that's the bottom line, man. I might be subconsciously to my own detriment, trying to engage in all this normal crap, following this normal world. But I'm telling you, man, if you suffer from dissatisfaction and emptiness and hollowness and a sense of like just this is all sucks or any kind of negative darkness, I would really recommend turning your back on the world in a spiritual kind of way, where your pursuit now is that internal richness in an honesty, a vulnerability, a transparency, first and foremost with yourself, engaging in healthy conversations with yourself in a zealous way, like a zealot with no dogma behind it, like nothing being off the table, but just trying to consider everything, becoming a student. It's an exercise, it's a pursuit, it's a daily battle. It's a battle from one moment to the next even. That being said, gotta encourage you, because I think that this is a battle worth fighting, and this is a subject that's always worth discussing. Always worth discussing. I digress.